I know you are getting letters from the Labour Party that says the Conservatives would cut the winter fuel allowance, would cut the free bus travel, would cut the free television licence. Those statements by Labour are quite simply lies. I don't use the word lie very often, but I'm using it today because they are lies. A Conservative government would keep the winter fuel allowance, would keep the free television licence, would keep the extra money for pensioners, would keep these things. Do not be frightened by a government that is trying to scare you into not opting for change. It is totally irresponsible, and if the Prime Minister has a moral compass, could he please dig it out from under the sofa, have a look at it, and stop his candidates from lying about Conservative policy. Glad I got that off my chest. I feel very, very strongly about it.
Just to be clear, you will keep the benefits, but you will not change them in any way. You will not means test, you will not change the criteria.
We will keep what we inherit in all of those important areas.
This time for claiming a large gardening bill, including £1,600 for a duck pond, or apparently, or a duck, I don't know what it is, a duck house in the middle of a pond. David Cameron, the Conservative leader, is with us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, are you going to stop MPs who've abused the expenses system from standing as Conservatives as at the next election?
Yes.
For the last 2 crisis years, the banking bosses have waived their bonuses even as their star traders have been paid. This year, a new government, new banking bosses and a new attitude, even as taxpayer subsidies continue and austerity bites everywhere else. Billions of pounds of bonuses will be granted to bankers in the next few weeks, including those at bailed out banks. And this time, the bosses too will claim multi-million-pound bonuses. It's creating a grand political headache for a government which wants to say we're all in this together.
I believe the public is right behind the approach that we are taking.
But George Osborne insists that Britain is heading in the right direction, and he's confident that 2011 won't see the UK consumed by protest.
We are the party of the NHS, we back it, we're going to expand it, we've ring-fenced it and said it will get more money under a Conservative government, and it is our #1 mission to improve it. If you remember a few conference speeches ago, I said you could sum up our priorities in 3 letters.
Sorry, just a minute. Excuse me, I'm the senior All Speak Safety Department. Why is it that we're all told to walk around like this, and these people that I'm dead to it?
You can talk to me.
No.
Why don't you...
I still mean it.
No, I agree. Because we're all taking our ties off. I think
We'll come back.
I'm not having it. Out.
Sorry guys, can you just...
It's been 8 weeks since former News International Chief Executive Rebekah Brooks revealed to a parliamentary committee that it was the British Chancellor of the Exchequer, George Osborne, who'd recommended ex-News of the World editor Andy Coulson for the top communications job in Downing Street. Andy Coulson resigned in January, citing distractions to do with his former employers. 5 months later, he was arrested over phone hacking allegations. So why was George Osborne so keen to employ Andy Coulson? Tonight, Natalie Rowe, the woman at the heart of drugs and prostitution claims against the Chancellor, has spoken to Lateline in her first television interview. Europe correspondent Emma Alberici has been investigating the history of George Osborne's links with the News of the World and allegations that Andy Coulson manipulated coverage to the advantage of the man who would become Britain's Chancellor.
One of the first reporters to blow the whistle on phone hacking in the UK has been found dead outside of London. Sean Hoare was a journalist for the News of the World. The tabloid now shuttered because of the scandal. Police say the death is unexplained, but is not suspicious. Hoare told the New York Times that hacking phones of celebrities and murder victims, among others, was widely used, even encouraged at the tabloid owned by media mogul Rupert Murdoch. UK lawmakers will grill Murdoch, his son, and another executive on Tuesday in a public hearing.
The Chancellor of the Exchequer takes a particular delight, it seems, in playing the role of Baron Hardup. But can I just say to him, in the nicest, Christmassy way possible, that all his austerity talk does provide real anxiety for many of my constituents who worry about their winter fuel allowance, who worry about VAT increasing in January, who worry about the major losses in construction jobs in the new year. So can I please just encourage him just sometimes to play Prince Charming instead?
Well, at least I'm not the pantomime dame. I mean, what I would say.
Nothing and no one will stop us.
Natalie Rowe was in her early 20s when she met George Osborne. She was running an escort agency. Her boyfriend at the time was William Sinclair, a descendant of one of the biggest landowners in the UK. He and George Osborne were members of Oxford University's Bullingdon Club, a male-only institution with a reputation for heavy drinking and riotous behaviour. An invitation to join was usually restricted to those who'd studied at Eton, the world's most exclusive boys' school. In 1994, she became pregnant to William Sinclair. They threw a party to celebrate. George Osborne brought flowers and cash. Money, Natalie Rowe says, was to buy illegal drugs. The white powder seen variously on the table in front of them is said to be cocaine.
The message to all those people who've lost their jobs is the Prime Minister is not going to change course. The Chancellor of the Exchequer has lashed himself to the mast. Not for the first time, perhaps. Mr. Speaker, youth unemployment is at its highest level for 19 years. Women's unemployment is at its highest level for 23 years. The highest level since the last time there was a Tory government. It turns out he's just like all the others. For him, unemployment is a price worth paying.
China and Britain are different countries with different histories, and we completely respect that. But we believe that the development of civil society, freedom of expression, the rule of law, and respect for human rights underpins stability and prosperity for us all.